Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Anna, and I'm a project assistant at All Digital. It's a pleasure to be your host for this session, which is part of the All Digital Weeks 2025, which is a campaign dedicated to enhancing the digital skills across Europe. Before we begin, I'd like to share with you a few quick housekeeping notes. This webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be available on YouTube, All Digital YouTube channel afterwards. If you prefer not to be seen or heard, feel free to keep your camera off and your microphone muted. This session will last approximately 45 minutes, and we, of course, encourage you to participate. You can share your thoughts in the chat, and we will have a Q&A session at the end where you can ask your questions. And also, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask them directly to the speakers. So today's webinar is part of the online international events for All Digital Weeks, and is a collaborative effort between the Code for Europe project and its Digital in Girls in Digital's campaign. All Digital Weeks 2025, which is running from March the 17th to April the 4th, is a European-wide initiative supported by the European Commission and is bringing together partners and organizations to help equip citizens with essential digital skills for work, social inclusion, and education, of course. This year's theme is Educated Digital Citizens, which highlights the importance of the digital literacy and inclusion, ensuring that every European is prepared for the challenges and the opportunity of the digital age, which is our age. So, one key initiative making a difference in this space that we are living is Girls in Digital Week, a movement within the EU Code Week aimed at breaking barriers and fostering inclusions in the STEM field. Today, we will explore how Girls in Digital is empowering young European, regardless of the gender. And so empowering this young European to explore STEM and so embrace also tech careers and drive innovation. As we also prepare for Girls in Digital Week, which is gonna run from March the 24th until March 28th this year, we will discuss why diversity matters in digital fields, how you can get involved, and impact this initiative is already making. To dive deeper into this conversation, I'm thrilled to introduce our guest speaker. So it's here with us, Marina Andrew. She is the executive director and co-founder of Wide & Co. Marina is a passionate advocate for diversity in tech, working to create inclusive opportunities for women and also underrepresented groups in the digital careers. Through her leadership at Wide & Co., she has helped drive mentorship programs, training initiative, and the community building efforts to make the digital world more accessible and equitable for all. So Marina, I'm so excited to have you here today, and I will just give the floor to you at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, for the kind introduction. Welcome everyone to this webinar. So we'll start in a second. I have a presentation to run. So please let me know if you see my slides.
Yes, we can see.
Wonderful. All
But
right.
at the
Yeah.
complete screen, we see also the other slide, the upcoming slides on the side.
So diaporama. Is it better?
Perfect.
Wonderful. So thanks again for joining this webinar. As it was just said, Girls in Digital Week initiative is part of a larger project, which is Code for Europe, which is completely aligned with an even larger initiative called EU Code Week. And I will give you a bit of background on all these initiatives and tell you where I am here today to share my experience and my thoughts and also my plans for the future. So I'm the founder of White & Co, a social enterprise based in Luxembourg. I've been active in the field of gender and tech for the last 10 years. WIDE stands for Women in Digital Empowerment. And as it was mentioned, I ran many initiatives at national and European level to support more girls and women to enter tech and ICT over the last 12 years already. I was the first organizer of coding classes for women in Luxembourg back in 2013. And it was also the very beginning of the initiative EU Code Week. And I was very pleased when I was contacted by the very first organizers of EU Code Week to become a EU Code Week ambassador for Luxembourg. And I stayed in this role for at least 5 years. So I was proud and to be part of this grassroots initiative and to see so much energy and willingness to be put into to build what is EU Code Week today. And I believe EU Code Week today, it's a well-established initiatives with the same values that it used to have, spreading the love of technology and code, reaching to a large number of citizens in Europe and beyond, and also focusing on education. So glad to represent this initiative in this new project, even if I'm not an active EU Code Week ambassador. These days, I belong to the movement for sure. So as I said, I'm a gender and tech expert involved with several ministries in Luxembourg. I also implemented many projects with the support of the European Commission and with many other partners in Europe. So a lot of experience to share with you today. Just for Luxembourg, we reached more than 5,000 participants since we started. We can kind of keep lost track of how many women and girls have tried coding with us, but it's quite a few for the country. And we also organized other activities in other countries. Also developed good cooperation with similar organizations working for women in Europe and elsewhere. And what I wanted to say at this point, it's sustainability of the initiatives of the organizations supporting women and girls in digital is always a challenge. I've seen many very ambitious organizations starting programs, events, and unfortunately not able to sustain their efforts. Especially with COVID. So it's important to keep going and to keep doing more things for girls and women in the field of tech and ICT. So what is Girls in Digital? Actually, I thought about this many years ago. EU Code Week, as you know, happens in October, November, and has a huge focus on education and young people. However, while we're able to create a great momentum during EU Code Week, what else is happening the rest of the year? And I thought that creating a new initiatives towards girls will be an excellent idea, and also to keep a momentum and create another occasion through the year to talk about the importance of inclusion of girls and women in digital, in tech. And we just saw all the events, all the action, all the initiatives around 8th of March, so in International Women's Day, so a day which is celebrated pretty much everywhere with many events. But here again, it's a one-day thing or 1 week thing. And then, all the rest of the year, it seems that equality might not be so important. So as an organization working every day of the year to support gender equality, we thought it's important to give more occasions to raise awareness around these topics. And it's not a topic just for 8th of March or for EU Code Week. It's a topic that we should address more often through the year. So we thought that it would be a smart idea to build on the momentum of 8th of March to keep promoting activities and empowerment of girls, and organize a Girls in Digital Week, which is set to happen at the end of March. And also to avoid this concentration of events around 8th of March and create other opportunities a few weeks later. So Girls in Digital is just the perfect occasion or opportunity to organize events or initiatives and to create opportunities for young girls to develop their digital skills. Girls in Digital is for everyone. Obviously, we are targeting young girls, young Europeans, but we know it's very important to work with teachers, educators, coaches, parents. Parents have a very important role to play. And also, I strongly believe that the public sector has a strong leadership role to play. The private sectors, companies, employers, even if the girls will be on the job market only in 10 years' time, they need to be involved. And if we want to make a change, have a better representation of girls and women in ICT in the future, we need to work from an early age, and we need to work on education. This is what I'm convinced of. So everyone should be involved in order to reach out to the young girls. And in support to this activity, so there is an opportunity to organize many different things on the ground. Social media is very important these days, especially if you want to reach out to young people. So we're also running and implement a full social media campaign through the social media to support this initiative. So what is Girls in Digital Week? Girls in Digital Week is very open. It's a new initiative. Of course, I think the name is quite straightforward. So it can be included in Girls in Digital Week, any activity aiming to support girls in this field, and anyone can organize their own activities. They don't need to be vetted by any organizations. They just need to align with the value and the principles, of course, of Girls in Digital Week. And then you can use the Girls in Digital Week branding, should I say, to give more visibility to your initiative, and also to create this sense of community, to have more, also said, okay, I took part in Girls in Digital Week. So a Girls in Digital Week is an activity which happens in a safe space, and you can name it. It can be a hands-on workshop, coding, mentorship session. A great idea will be also to invite women leaders, adults, professionals to share with classes, with high school students to share their experience. This can also be mixed activities. We know that sometimes to be able to go to high schools, you need to offer mixed activities, educating boys to the equality issues is also very important. Girls are not going to make it happen by themselves. They need to have boys supporting them in this change. So as we said, the initial activity, the initial cycle of activities is end of March. However, here again, we want to be flexible. So if you have an activity that you want to organize before this time, you can, of course, put it under the umbrella of Girls in Digital Week. If you just came to know about Girls in Digital Week and you want to organize something later, because the program, the school program, holidays or whatever are not fitting well with these dates, it's completely fine. Just we're giving dates to try to keep a concentration of events and to motivate everyone to be involved. But in terms of implementing activities, it could be even activities up till the end of a school year. To help you to organize these activities, you must know that within a current EU-funded program called Code for Europe, you have hubs everywhere in Europe. So 22 partners based in many member states and also beyond are here to support you to organize these activities. So should you need any help to implement the activities, to organize, to communicate, to promote, reach out to us, and we will make sure that we connect with the right person in the ecosystem. So we have prepared a campaign. So you should have seen the campaign already. We filmed the campaign with different kind of stories. And right now we are in the last week of the campaign. This webinar is part of it. And the theme for the current week is Pathways to Tech Career. So if you want to get inspiration from this campaign, you can take a look on social media, and you can, of course, reuse the material when you need it. We also have prepared an activity toolkit, so where we have many resources when it comes to educational resources, but also communication resources to support organizers, to make organizers' life easier, to also to use the branding around Girls in Digital in order to also create a consistency within the activities and create this community spirit. So it's all available online. You can see the link here. Maybe Anna will put the link into the chat. So here again, feel free. These resources have been designed to support others to organize activities within Girls in Digital. So how can you be involved concretely? If you organize any new activity, do not forget to register the activity on the website. It will help us counting the number of activities and also spreading the word. So it's very important that if you do something that you let us know. You can get more inspiration on Code Week EU website. You have even more educational resources. So if you're looking for support to create something or material to create something, I'm sure you can find good resources on the website. If you need volunteers, let's say that you'd love to organize a coding activity for girls, but as I was 10 years ago, I was not a coder or IT professional, so I needed to have volunteers from the field to help me to put activities together. It's very easy to find passionate IT professionals to help you, men and women. Usually they love to share their passion of technology, so it's very, very easy to involve volunteers, so do not worry about this. You can here again use the Code Week website to do so, or reach out to your local EU Code Week hub, and I'm sure they will be able to help you to connect with great volunteers who are here to support. We also need, of course, support, sponsoring. So if you're in an organization with a capacity to support activities, it can be as simple as offering a space, because space is always can be a challenge especially in cities. So just offering a space in your company or in your organization where we can host an activity, it's a great help. So if you'd love to see something like this happen in your space, let us know, and we can maybe connect the dots. Right, so next steps. So as I said, get involved. It's very easy. It doesn't have to take you many hours. A workshop can be organized very very easily. As I said, from my experience, 10 years ago, I tried to organize coding workshops. I had no experience on coding, and I was able to find a space. Recruiting volunteers was super easy, and then I got the chance to connect to the EU Coding community and be part of something bigger. So and you get the support from our group to make it happen. So you have the website. Make sure to have the date in your calendar. So the official dates are 24, 28 of March. However, as I said, we are very flexible with dates, and if you want to organize something later in the year, before the summer, it's completely possible, and we'll be happy to take this as an activity part of Girls in Digital Week. We have an hashtag, which is super easy, Girls in Digital, which you should use when you communicate on social media. Spread the word. If you know anyone interested in joining the activity, if you know anyone who is already organizing activities which are in the scope of Girls in Digital, maybe they could add these activities to the program. If you can, in any capacity, support activities around you, contact us so we can offer you help to other partners, and make sure to follow us on social media as well. Right. So I think I presented most of the information that I wanted to share with you. And since we have an online audience, I will take this opportunity to ask questions. So if you wish to ask questions, please feel free to use the chat on the platform, and I'll be happy to answer any question that you may have at this point. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you to have shared all of this information with us. And I have to say that this is, I'm also involved in this project, and this is one of the best campaign that are going on for Code for Europe. So please take this invitation for good, and let's create a lot of events to involve as much as girls in the digital world. So I see actually we have already a question in the chat, Marina, for you. So the question say, do you have any ideas for the next edition of the Girls in the Digital Week? So we are already thinking about the next one. But yes.
It's the first edition of Girls in Digital Week, so it's very important that we spread the word. It's a new initiative. Everyone is busy, we know that. So we need to make sure that Girls in Digital Week is well known at European level. We are fortunate to be supported by the European Commission for this program, so we should leverage from this. So I think the short-term goals will be to make sure that we have as many activity as possible for the current year. And I think what is very important is to leave a legacy, because I've seen too many events or initiatives, happening one time, two times, three times, then organizers don't get the support that they deserve. It takes too much of their time, and it's often, if they do it as a volunteer, on a volunteer basis, they give up, not just because they might not have more time anymore, and so on. So it's such a shame to not to use this goodwill and to create something more sustainable. And here again, I've seen many initiatives just dying. At the beginning, everyone is so enthusiastic. Then it's working on gender equality is not an easy thing to do, and so it's very important that we create a momentum and that this initiative will be repeated. In the next years, and it will become something quite institutional. Then organizations think of every year, oh, this Girls in Digital Week is coming, what should we do? So that's really the goal. In terms of ideas, well, it's very easy to have many good ideas. You also have many good practices that have been shared. I know there was several webinars recently on this topic, so you can easily get inspired by other initiatives. What is good is to maybe not always copy initiatives, because you have to have a local or national adaptation. So it's good to be inspired by other initiatives and bring it to your own city, country, region, and to create your own. So you make sure that it creates a real impact on your community, or on the young girls, on the people. And I think it's important also to define your target group, because if you organize activities for girls age 8 to 12, it's not the same activity that for teenage girls. It's not the same activity that if you do it for boys and girls. So you need to really have a precise idea of your target group, and it will help you greatly to communicate better. That's one practical tip that I can give you. And to share my big ideas, what I want to implement in Luxembourg, so maybe not this year, because this year we're really focusing on developing the Girls in Digital branding and awareness. I really want to create new opportunities for IT professionals, female IT professionals, to go to schools and share their career, how they got into ICT with a large group of students. And I think a challenge that we have experienced in Luxembourg, but I know that is the same challenge in many countries, is to organize girls-only activities in mixed school. So I think it's also very good to bring female ICT professionals to schools and to have a conference with boys and girls, because boys can also benefit from these activities. So that will be my next big idea that I'm happy to share and explore with you for 2026.
Absolutely, I agree with everything that you shared, Marina. And actually, I would like to jump in the conversation and ask you a question. In the beginning, I would love to ask you some practical steps that maybe educator and organization could take to have to encourage more girls to pursue the careers in STEM. But I think you already widely reply to this my first questions. So at this point, I would like to ask you if you can share with us an inspiring success story from Girls in Digital or Wide & Co that showcase the impact of this kind of initiative, which is important to have, something concrete already happen.
That's an excellent question. I have to say it's very difficult because to pick one. I've been organizing events for girls and women in coding for 12 years now, and when you create these events, often you have a lot of energy, a big momentum around events. One activity that we have organized many times in Luxembourg is Rails Girls. It was a very popular activity before COVID. So every time we did this annual event, we had like 100 girls and women registering to come to code together on a Saturday. We had also an amazing number of volunteers. So it was amazing to do this event for the volunteers as well. So great events, great momentum. And then you know that this kind of day can change someone's life and impact really on their life. But often it's difficult to keep track of your impact. And, you know, because people might have met someone who's becoming a good friend, might have decided to create a company, might have decided to study IT, but they don't, maybe not, they won't tell you, because you may not see them afterwards. So one example that I have in mind, it's a Rails Girls participant. I've met her by chance 5 years later at an IT training, and she told me that attending our coding class or workshop, she decided to change her career, and she had a master's degree in languages, and she went to study towards a bachelor degree in IT. And she got the inspiration with this one-day workshop. So in terms of impact, it's huge. However, measuring impact is not it's not an easy thing. It could be the theme for another webinar. And you need, but it's important to collect this real testimonies to show your impact to the public, but also to your stakeholders and supporters.
Absolutely. We always need inspiration through the real stories, don't we? Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. So
it's
thank you.
important in the work that we do, because sometimes we see so much enthusiasm, but then we don't, people don't give news, and say, oh, it's just because they don't want to give news. It's just because they're busy with their life and they don't think to give you feedback. So, but when you're around for a long time, you come to meet people by chance, and you have amazing feedback on the impact that you have created on people's lives.
Thank you very much, Marina, to share with us all of this great success that you have made in the time. So I see that there is another question. So I think we have time to answer to the last one. And so the question do you think also sharing more positive example of the impact in the schools can encourage girls to pursue a career in the STEM field?
Yeah, it's always the biggest challenge according to me, to work with schools. First of all, it's not always easy, as I said, to organize girls-only activities in schools. You might face a lot of resistance. You might find very motivated teachers who do not find a framework to organize this in their school. So they'd like to do it, but when they come to when they look for support, if it's not in the yearly plan of a school, they don't get the support that they need, and they give up. So that's a challenge. So you need to find strategies to go around this. And also what we learned from a previous project, it's, you have to have a strong support from the educational authorities or Ministry of Education if you really want to make it happen in schools. So individual goodwill is important, teacher goodwill is important, but it's not enough in most cases. So that's then the next thing that you have to keep in mind. It's when girls are teenagers, having the chance to join one activity like Girls in Digital can make a real change in their life, because often girls are only presented with traditional career opportunities. Do you want to be a teacher? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want, and often a lot of stereotypes around this career possibilities. And in most cases, girls never heard about a job in ICT or digital, and it's not even a possibility that was presented to them. Often girls hear become an engineer is for your brother, and we so and the way that these opportunities are presented is very traditional, and especially in families. In families, parents tend to encourage their girls to go for jobs and professions that they know. So a typical example is if you're a girl who's good in science, you'll be encouraged to be a medical doctor. That's a very ambitious path already and a lot of parents will think about this kind of profession. So you also need to keep in mind that you have an environment, a social environment, a cultural environment around school, and you have a lot of stereotypes in our society around this ICT digital careers or jobs. So you need to deal with this in a way. And in terms of impact, it's even more difficult for young students because they will participate in an activity when they are 15, 16, 17. Then schools lose track of them when they go to university or other kind of schools, and then it's impossible for you to have feedback on on the impact that you had. So I've heard mothers telling me that thanks to the participation to one of its activities in the school, the girls got other opportunities in ICT, but I heard this from mothers or parents that I knew. So, but it's very difficult again to gather every single impact that you have on individual people when you organize events. So the only thing you can do is keep going, work on raising awareness, and you will see your impact on a long term. Don't expect anything tomorrow. We need to work on a long term on this.
Okay, so I want to invite once again everyone to be part of this change. Let's make this change and let's make the impact. Let's have more girls in the digital field, in the STEM field. So I think that this brings us to the very end of this session because I see no more question in the chat. So at this point, I will thank you, Marina, for sharing your insight and great experience with us. And of course, I also want to thank uh, all of you for joining this engaging for joining and to engage in the discussion. And of course, we hope you found today's conversation inspiring, but I'm sure 100% it was. So, lastly, I just would like to give a quick reminder that the recording of this session, of this webinar, will be available very soon on the All Digital YouTube official channel. And the link, if you want, is already, the link for the channel is already shared in the chat. So yes, this is the very end. So thank you all once again, and see you soon. Have a good rest of the day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, and keep in touch then. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you.